think that the way ideas come about is kind of really interesting. Sometimes you have an area and you want to put it to use, which was the case with this room. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but then I built it just to occupy the space. But other times it's kind of opposite, where you have one item and you build a whole idea around that. And that's the case for this project. And that one item is this really, really cool old typewriter that I came across at a consignment store that I was at the other day. So I went on Pinterest, I picked out all these different references and inspirations, and I think I finally have a really cool idea. But I want to make sure that I document this start to finish a little more in depth than I have in a couple other renovations I've done, trying to learn from my mistakes. So without further ado, I'll give you a quick before look at the closet and how disgusting it is, and then we'll start with the process. So this is how this area has looked ever since I remodeled this place. And because these doors have been really lazy with actually cleaning up the inside and doing something with it. So behind door number 1, gross closet, floor, ceiling, everything gross. On the inside it's pink, so I'm gonna have to take care of that for sure. And then on this side, more clutter and just mess. I think that after I do all this, it'll really open up the room and finish it off. This is nice and clean and simple, but the inside of here is gonna be really vintage and textured and warm, and it'll contrast really well with the navy blue walls and white trim and everything. Yeah. Let's start this up. I took all the junk out, threw out as much as I can. I'm gonna have to go and sort through everything else after. I ripped up the carpet, pulled up the tack strips, took down all the shelving. So now I'm gonna have to fill in the holes, the nail holes. This is concrete, so it's not gonna fill in completely smoothly. And then I'll go put a layer of primer, then do the first couple coats of paint, and then we'll be on our way to it looking a lot better. So yesterday I got 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of paint in this kind of light beige. So now it looks really clean and simple, and usually this is where I would stop. But I'm going for a really weathered, aged look, so I'm gonna be getting a little creative with it. Basically, I have a bunch of different applicators, some old tough brushes, porous sponge, steel wool, old rag. And the plan is I'm going to take this darker brown color, I'll water it down a lot and kind of do washes over the wall in different patches, different textures, and it'll really age this and give it some more character and texture to kind of make it seem like 1930s smoke room type aged wall. I could really screw this up, so I'm going to start in the corners where you can't see, in these little alcoves, to test it out, and then if I need to abort, I'll do that. Let's get started with it. Alright, so I let it dry and stepped away from it for a little bit. I think I like how it is right now. Anyways, a lot of this is going to be kind of mixed with textures, which is going to be the next step. So I just learned about this technique called decoupage, which is kind of like layering photos and cloth and anything with a design on walls or objects or whatever using some sort of decoupage glue or Mod Podge. So I got a lot of things that I thought would give character to the wall. I have all of these different decoupage textures, and I tried to keep everything within the same kind of sepia beige-ish color range. So I think it will be really good to have this behind there. And there's this whole booklet of it that I also got at Michael's that just has stuff to make the wall busy, you know? What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut everything up how I like it, choose my favorite textures, and lay it out on the ground how I want it to look on the wall. See if I can come up with an idea just to give me a starting point. I just started with the biggest main pieces that I want to put down, and now I'm working and filling in little gaps, making sure to let some of the texture show through. I'm going to keep on working at this. I'm making sure that every time I put paper, I'm soaking the paper, and what that does is it's pulling apart the fibers, so when I brush the Mod Podge on it, you see these cracks, and it really makes it look a lot more aged and weathered. I think I decided the tape, I'm gonna make a frame border out of some thin trim, stain it and beat it up a little bit to kind of fit with it. But I think framing it out makes the chaos a little more organized. I think that once I do the dark wash over everything, once it's all dry, that'll really solidify all the colors and make the color scheme a little more coherent. So I finished up doing the textured accent piece on the wall with the Mod Podge and the textured paper. And I put a trim around it so now you can still see the textured wall that I did underneath and then still see this kind of main focus piece there. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. It was kind of one of those things you just had to put your head down and get through. It started looking better and coming along as I went. All the messy stuff is basically done now, so I did a quick run and I cleaned up this area, and now it's onto the electrical stuff before I can start decorating. So I have an outlet right here on the outside of the closet. I'm gonna do a pass through and install an additional outlet on the inside running from that. After I have that outlet installed, I have to wire 7 Edison bulbs together in parallel and then attach them to a dimmer. And then attach them to the ceiling at different levels as the main lighting piece, which I'm really excited about. I'll try my best and see how it goes. Okay, so this is my first time wiring up lights together like this, I guess. I wired them all in parallel into this hobby box, and basically this is going to be attached to the ceiling, and I'm going to hang these all at different lengths. So I figure if I'm going to go through this suspense of seeing if this works, you guys can too. So it's not plugged in yet. I'm just going to put all these light bulbs in. Alright. Moment of truth. Last one. Wow. Okay. First time's a charm then. Let's try it through the dimmer. It's just a pass-through outlet. Sweet. Alright, now I'm gonna install it. I think that's it for the hard stuff, basically. I just installed a pass-through. There's an outlet on this side, so it actually made it pretty easy. I just had to run a short run of Romex through here, cut the hole. Now the next stuff is actually the fun stuff. I'm gonna go find a desk, and then I have basically all the other decorations, and I can finally finish this thing up. I'm really excited, so yeah, let's do it. Alright, so I finally finished this up. It took about 4 days in total. A lot of experimentation, a lot of new techniques, a lot of nervousness that I was going to screw it up. There's a lot of room for error in this one. Usually what I do is pretty clean. Just paint the walls, do some trim, whatever. But this was a lot more of a risk, but I think it definitely paid off, and I'm really, really happy and proud of how this came out. It all stemmed from one simple buy at a consignment store with the Typewriter. I just think good work should be admired. So without further ado, time to roll that B-roll.